The research and funding into mesothelioma is somewhat of an overlooked issue. A serious lack of funding in recent times has tarred the collaborative work of scientists and researchers as they attempt to cure the incurable.
I'm here at the 13th IMIG conference here in Birmingham. This is where thousands of delegates, scientists and researchers come to talk about the subject of mesothelioma and asbestos.
This debate at the conference showcased how some researchers attempt to misrepresent their scientific findings for personal gain. The debate attracted a great deal of protest as campaigners, including the Greater Manchester Asbestos Victim Support Group, tried to explain the pain that asbestos is causing for many families across the world. Here, we see how industrial companies deter the link between asbestos and mesothelioma, saying there is no proof that asbestos causes mesothelioma and it is by no means the sole cause of this disease. Thankfully, their calls have been heard, as the recent budget announced a £5 million funding grant towards the research of mesothelioma. The next step is to work out how best to use this money.
I think that this money is a first step towards building a network across the UK of scientists and researchers who may be able, through collaboration, to give us better treatments and therefore better outcomes of care. So I don't think that a centre is necessarily the right term. I think it's about building a network and building collaboration so that, the UK, we've got some of the best scientists and clinicians in the world for this disease, and we should have, because we've got the highest incidence of the disease. And I think this money is the first step towards bringing those people together.
Aside from the work scientists are doing, other sources in Parliament are attempting to push through bills to help get rid of this awful disease. I met one MP who is campaigning for change.
2,500 people are dying of it every year. That's going to be 60,000 over the next period. That's costing, each patient costs the NHS at least 75,000 from diagnosis to death. That's £5 billion it'll be costing the country. £5 million for research is a drop in the ocean. There was a similar amendment going through the House of Lords currently by Lord David Alton. There was my 10-minute rule bill that I introduced twice onto the floor of the House of Commons, and already things are beginning to change.
Once corrupt scientists are dismissed and the network of researchers is built, hopefully using this money to good effect will go a long way in getting rid of this unjustifiable illness. In the final part of this series, I'll try to discover why Manchester in particular has a problem with mesothelioma. Ben Hobson reports.